Good morning. I think I have an alarm set here to remind me to record, and I was just going to check the time, and then, so it was right at the moment where it was reminding me, and now it's snoozing, and I don't know how to turn it off. So we may have a reminder of a bell of mindfulness in 8 minutes or so. Happy to see you all. So let's start sitting if you're able to. We'll begin this sunny morning. So we could take a moment and feel our sitting bones in contact with the floor. Somehow it seems that when we give our attention to that, there's a enhanced refinement of alignment that can really happen without too much bossing around to the body. You know what I mean? Feeling the sitting bones, the lower back. So the low back can find its, where it has its curve. Let the organs be easy for a moment. Spine ascends, ribs flare out from the spine, the neck finds its orientation in the head, balancing, resting and leading, and we sense the coming and going of the breath for a moment. And as you just be with this for a moment, body, breath, current state, I'd like to chant the Sahana. If you know it, you can join me. I'm going to go a little quicker today, and then we'll switch into our chant for this week. Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu Ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. And we can listen and repeat. I've also shared this on the screen. Our word for today, marichaye. So maricha means, yes, mirage. I think it has to do with the mirage of the night, and then the clarity that comes when the light comes in the dawn. So, listen, repeat. Marichaye namaha. Marichaye namaha. Marichaye namaha. Marichaye namaha. Listen, we do the whole phrase. Om Marichaye namaha. Together. Om Marichaye namaha. Om Marichaye namaha. Good. A couple breaths now. Maybe Ujjayi wants to begin at this point. See how the chanting may have shifted the breath some. Good. And let's just take one moment now to place our hand on our the prana vayu sthana, the place of the incoming breath and prana, and the other hand, the thumb on the navel, so the hand is on the apana vayu sthana, so the place of elimination and exhalation. And so, if you'd like, you could maybe visualize in your chest a ball of light even, that as you inhale, the ball of light expands very beautifully. And as you exhale, gently moving the abdomen in, nothing severe. So just a couple times more, inhale, ball of light expanding in all directions, including eventually down into the lower body. And exhale, the area under your hand flowing, drawing in, like that again. Okay, good. And let's now let that be, and we'll. Are we okay to start standing today? Any protestations? Okay, so come to standing, please. So, what was the role that our sitting bones were playing, or the function of support and contact? Now, the sitting bones go down through the legs to the feet to become the sitting bones of the legs, we could say. So we feel that a little more refined than the sitting bones, right? Quite a bit. Heels, balls of the feet, springy arches find their place when we give it attention. And now let's let the inhale lift the arms from the front. And exhale, coming down. So that's the pattern, as if you still had your hand on your chest and one on your abdomen. As you inhale, the arms lift, the ball of light effortlessly expanding. Nice. As you exhale, the area from the pubic symphysis to the navel draws in, maybe a little higher sometimes. Just like that a couple more times. Affirming, supporting, creating length in the spine. Now let's do 2 or 3 more. Option to lift and lower your heels. It could be a tiny bit, or it could be full motion, or just keep your heels down. Really up to you. And if we falter, or we wobble, or we fall, that's fine. Ours is not a caravan of despair. Okay. Now, let's try this. Even if you have long hamstrings and you're comfortable, in a moment we'll do forward bend, Uttanasana. Let's pretty strongly bend the knees the first couple times, and then do kind of a medium bend, and then long, comfortably long for you. Okay? So start the same way you did. Let the arms lift. Exhale, bending forward, and as you go, bend the knees pretty strongly, so your chest might even rest on your thighs in forward bend. Bend the knees, yeah. And then inhale, lift the arms and the chest, and rise, and then you can push the ground away, lengthening the legs as you lift. And then you could bend forward again, or lower your arms, your choice. Nice. Breath carrying you in and out. Then the next time, a couple times, kind of what for your range, not super bent, but not super long. So we're building some strength and length in different angles and vectors of force through. At any point, you can rest in forward bend or standing for an extra breath. Nice, nice, nice. Yeah. Nice, good. Go at your own pace. Take your time. When you come up this next time, lower your arms. And then can we go one more time and you'll just go to where it feels right. It doesn't, bent a lot, straight legs, just go for the feeling, but maybe exploring a little longer. Knees, maybe for some people your knees are fully straight or extended, some people partially. So go ahead one more time and you could stay there for up to 2 rounds of ujjayi breathing. What's the ball of light like here when you're in the forward bend? Beautiful. Eventually, you're carried out of it from your inhale and you pause. And you could continue orienting or reorient yourself to the sense of late morning sun, the feeling of that, the potential of renewal. So let us, let me see, which direction do we want to go? Let's try this. Let's do a little Surya Namaskar. Can you wander to the front of your mat? Omit anything that offends your body or soul. I'm sort of loosely paraphrasing, isn't that Walt Whitman? So you could start with your arms down, or if you're drawn to, palms could be together. And we'll go through the sequence: lunging, down dog, and then we'll see where to go from there. So on your inhale, let that again expand you upwards, outwards. And exhale, bending forward, an amount of bend in the knees that feels good to you, whatever length. Let's stay a breath here. Inhale, the chest might float away from the front of the legs a bit. And exhale, yield again, and placing the hands to the sides of the feet. After exhale, stride the right foot back into lunging. It's your choice. You can do knee down or knee off the ground. Stay for inhale and stay for exhale. Ball of light in the chest, inhale. And your next exhale, plant the hands and come into downward dog. Good. Stay there for inhaling, ball of light. Stay there for exhaling, this hollowing in of the belly. Now when you inhale, let's now lower the knees to the ground. You come to all fours. Chakravakasana, sunbird, lift the chest, the bird that appears at dawn, and then bow into Vajrasana, forward bend, aka child's posture. Stay there a moment, let everything rest as much as it can. For a moment, as you could imagine or feel the light or warmth on the back of your body. Neck, shoulders, low back, back of the hands. Now, can we add one more posture here? You're gonna, in a moment, you'll inhale and lift your arms and stand on your knees. Good. And now exhale, bring your palms together and sit on your heels or stay standing on your knees if that's more comfortable. Perfect. And we reverse. Inhale, stand on your knees, raise your arms. Exhaling, I bend forward. And let's just keep this mostly one breath for each posture. Stay there for inhaling and exhaling. And next, inhale, come to all fours, lift the chest. And let's go downward dog here. I'm not being consistent. So you get the idea. If needed, you can stay for a breath, just so we're not moving on each half breath. Stay for the inhale and exhale, allowing the breath to organically grow longer, tended by our attention. Now at the end of exhale, keep the breath out and shoot the right foot forward, push off the left, stride the right foot forward, so you're lunging on the second side. Stay for the inhale. Nice. Staying for exhale. Can you stay for one more inhale, ball of light in the chest. And when you are ready, exhale, push off, step into forward bend. Stay and inhale, float the ribs away from the front of your legs a little bit of a slight Purvatana feeling. Exhale, bowing. And then when inhale comes, extending arms, spine rising. Eventually exhale to the first gesture you made, as you wish. Pause a moment. How is that journey? I kind of like that one, right? So we have the reference, we start standing and there's a moment where we're kneeling, sitting, or kneel standing, and then we reverse. Can we do that again, and we'll gesture the other leg, okay? So when ready, when your breath is ready, let the inhale again initiate reaching. Exhale, bend forward. Staying a breath there. Good. Keep the air out as you stride now the left foot back. So moving in the pause after exhale. Good. Stay for inhaling. Stay for exhaling. Exhale, action in the belly. Your breath, stay again when you inhale, a ball of light expands through the whole body. And exhale initiates you into downward dog. Good. Feel the heels of the hands fanning out through the fingers, staying for inhaling and exhaling. Good. Now when you inhale, lower the knees to the floor, sternum lifts. And let's let the exhale bring us into Vajrasana, forward bend. Remain there for a breath. And when you feel inhale, let it float you, extend you into space, standing on the knees. And exhale, gesturing, sitting or kneel standing. Okay, and then one more time now we reverse that. So inhaling when ready, opening, standing. Exhale, draw in the belly, kneeling forward bend. You can remain there a breath if you'd like. When you feel the inhale in the center of the chest, float to all fours. Exhale, push into downward dog. Push the earth away, reach with the tail. Heels growing. Stay for inhaling. Stay for exhale, drawing in the belly. Now keep that drawing in, keep the air out, and push off the right, step the right foot forward. Moving into and out of, yeah, good. On the pause after exhale. Now stay, let the inhale come in. Let exhale go out. Let, but also kind of help create. Subtle inhale, lift with the chest, sternum. And when you exhale, step into forward bend. Good. Stay there, inhale, the sternum lifts, float your spine long. Exhale, bow again. And then eventually inhale, lengthen, rise, and return hands to your beginning place. Okay, let me check in with you. We're a little chamber group today. How are you doing? Thumb up. Yeah. Okay, good. So, are you interested, Patrick? How are you doing? Okay. Patrick's like right. He's in that square. I don't know which square. So, can we do? I'd like to, take some time. But since we built that pattern of Surya Namaskar, you could just go through it again 2 times with breath, or you could also play with chanting. Okay, so the options are you could chant Om every time, you could chant Om Namaha, or simply Namaha, or you could try doing the whole chant, Om Mari Chaye Namaha. And this time, we'll maybe move through it a little bit more. Should I guide you through it basically? So kind of decide in your head, am I going to chant Namaha or try doing Om Mari Chaye Namaha or Om Namaha? Just decide, and let's start standing. We'll go through the same pattern, okay? We don't have to be exactly together. So, exhale. Next, inhalation, extending, raising the arms. And then chanting, then forward. Om Mari Chaye Namaha. Good. Stay there, breathe in. Breathe out. Option to chant or not. Om Mari Chaye Namaha. Step the right foot back. Then inhale, lift the chest. And now let's go into downward dog and chant. Om Mari Chaye Namaha. Good. Inhale, lower your knees, lift the chest. Exhale into kneeling forward bend. Chant Om Mari Chaye Namaha. Now just rest here another breath or so. On your next inhale, stand on your knees, and then we chant on the exhale. Inhale, you'll rise. Om Mari Chaye Namaha. Now again, inhale, stand on your knees, raise the arms. Chant and bend forward. Om Mari Chaye Namaha. Inhaling to all fours. Chant into down dog. Om Mari Chaye Namaha. Stay for inhaling and exhaling. Om Mari caye namaha. End of exhale, step forward, right leg. Inhale. Now stay there and exhale, chant. Om Mari Caye Namaha. Stay for inhale. And when exhale comes, chant forward bend. Om Mari Caye Namaha. Now let's inhale to standing this time. Raise your arms. Finishing chanting. Om Mari Caye Namaha. Okay, rest a moment. Okay, kind of a lot to remember and coordinate, but kind of fun, I think. Can we go through one more time? So what I'm going to do is, rather than describe them, if you forget something, just improvise. Basically exhale, chant. Doesn't have to be every time. So can you do the second side? I'll keep the Shruti box going and use your left leg. So go when you're ready and then lie down. When you're completed, take your time. You can come and line your back, rest a couple moments, feeling the effects. And as you rest and feel the unfolding of this variation of Surya Namaskar along with the mantras, I'd like to just chant the Gayatri mantra. Om Tat Saviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo prachodayat. Om apojyoti raso amritam brahma bhur bhuvasuvar. Om. One hand on the pranavayu sthana, the chest, one hand on the apanavayu sthana. Feeling and then suggesting again this pattern that, so the yogis say the incoming breath, in the Bhagavad Gita it says the inhaling is the offering of prana to apana, exhaling is the offering of apana to prana. Right, so, and this is said to balance the agni, the fire in the navel area. So with that as a possible orientation or background, now just a couple times now, if you'd like, a ball of light in the chest. That feels too hot or excitatory, just maybe a sphere that opens and closes. Inhaling, expanding. Exhale, active exhale technique in the belly, just like that again. Okay, and then when you complete exhale, could you bring your hands down, your arms alongside of your body, bring your legs a little closer to each other. They could be, you want to do what's comfortable, they could be passive or they could be oriented a little more almost as if you were standing, right? And now just give a little tug at the back of your skull, so up in the back of the skull, down in front. So we have like a sprout of Jalandhara Bandha, right? And so now we're going to inhale Ujjayi and lift your arms gradually through the air onto the floor overhead. Keep the nose slightly down. Pause a couple seconds. Start exhale in the belly, and that brings the arms gradually down. Ujjayi throughout, if that's comfortable. So can you go like that a couple more times? Pausing after inhale, could be shorter or longer than 2 seconds. So the back of the skull and the heels are moving away from each other to one orientation. Beautiful. Good. And can you do 2 more? Extend the pause after exhale per your comfort by a second or 2. Do 1 more if you've just finished. Good. After this one, rest a moment. Rest the arms a bit away from the body, the legs apart from each other. If there's any action that's accumulated in the jaw, let the molars, the lower molars relax away from the other, the eyes soften. And let the sensation and the prana flow, surge through the body. Very good. Could you now take a transition to lie on the front of your body? Take your time in that transition, please. Okay, so on the front of the body now, let's now if this stresses the shoulders. So one option is to have the palms on the floor in the kind of typical cobra thing, right? Right. If you're okay, bring your arms into either a V shape, or they don't have to be parallel to each other. Just where is it okay for my shoulders? So you're in, and the legs could be parallel or slightly widened as well. Go to what allows the back to be long and wide. Okay, forehead on the ground. So now, let's try this. You're going to inhale in a moment up, and that'll lift the chest, and you're going to lift the chest and arm and the opposite leg. Okay, so we're going to do Ardha Shalabhasana. So when the inhale comes, lift the chest, one arm, and the opposite leg. And exhale down. And of course, take intermittent breaths if the breath needs a chance to catch up. And you'll alternate like that. Maybe a little pause after inhale. And again, on each side, your timing. Okay, now after those alternations, bend your elbows and stack your hands and rest your forehead on your hands for a moment. Pillow of the hands. Settle the pelvis, buttocks, legs for a moment. Okay, now we'll bring the hands in the typical cobra stance. Palms on the floor next to your ribs, so. Now let's try this. Just a basic cobra a couple times. Leave the legs on the ground. Let the inhale, the ball of light expand, shoulder blades draw a little back. Linger after inhale, then exhale down. Just a couple times, not too many, because we'll do a couple more variations in a moment. Okay, now, option here to, if it's okay, what we're going to do is add to that motion of the spine, bending the knees, both knees. If that irritates the back, then just lift the legs long, okay? So when you inhale, lift the chest, and just after, bend the knees and bring the feet towards the back of your head as if they could touch without straining, and then exhale down. That's it. Again, if that's stressful to the back at all, then just lift the legs long or leave them down. Okay, and then after this one, you could make the hand a pillow and rest again. Good. Again, consciously let the musculature settle. Feel the spreading of sensation and prana. Okay, now option to repeat that, or we go into a fixed frame or bound posture, right? A baddha If there's any shoulder, neck injuries or knee, be very careful or stick with what we just did. So you'll bend your knees, and if it's comfortable, possible, hold on to the tops. Could be the tops of the feet or the ankles. You can play with that. Do what's comfortable. Okay, now when you're ready, simultaneously, and you inhale, you're going to push your feet a little bit into your hands. Lift the feet, hands, head, chest, and exhale down. We'll do a couple of dynamics, so it's a modest range of motion. Go with the feeling, not with the memory of what we used to do. The knees may or may not lift. Now, you could stay or release, and now or in a moment, when the breath is relatively settled, you can go in and stay 1, 2, or 3 breaths with your eyes closed, face relaxing, body breathing. Good. Your breath, body will let you know. When you let go, come back to either the hand pillow, or if you want to rest with your head to one side or your hands by your hips, as you wish, just settle for a moment. So we go from active phase to now receptive phase of the asana. Let the medicine spread. And what we're going to do now is what's often done traditionally, has kind of been either unknown or pushed aside, it's not the most elegant, but the benefits are interesting. Could you just transition onto your back, into lying on your back? No twisting, no knees to chest, unless you really feel you need to bring knees to chest, but no twisting. Lie on your back, please. Legs could be bent or straight. And we take a couple more moments of letting the effect, the medicine flow, meditating in particular on your chest, in the ribs, this particular center of the body. What does that feel like? As you feel that, I'm going to chant briefly. Om Bhurbhuvassuvaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Prachodayat. When ready, bend your knees, bring your feet to standing, and then we'll bring the knees to the chest, and we'll do 2 or 3 simple apanasana. Remember, the deeper we go into a particular asana, the counter pose should not be opposite in terms of range of motion or difficulty. It should be easier. It should be a way to reduce or eliminate any negative residual effects. So a few times this very sweet, powerful apanasana. Okay. And if your system says yes, you could stay with exhales apanasana. And inhale could be urdhva prasrita parasana. Arms and legs extend out of the spine, out of the breath, and return and bend on the exhale. Now you're in your body, you're in your breath, so do this basically dynamically, but if you need to spend a breath in Apanasana or UPP, so it feels harmonious, please take that freedom. Good. And as you continue, just reignite that slight lift the back of the skull, the nose slightly down while the head rests. Next time you could stay a breath in the extension of the legs. Good. Okay, pause a moment when you exhale. Now here we want to be sweet to ourselves. So let's go from the a kind of progression of modifications. Even if you don't need them, just try them. So take your hands behind your knees, please. And you're going to keep your hands there, and as you inhale, you're going to extend your feet to the sky and your arms will extend a little bit. And now stay there for a breath, stay for exhaling, staying for inhaling. And then when exhale comes next, bend your knees again towards the front of your body. Okay, so that may be appropriate for you. Now you could, as you inhale, you could bring your hands to touch your calves or ankles. Let's try that. So the arms might go down the legs a little bit and stay there. Yeah, where they're connected, though. And there's might be just the slightest little drawing of the legs towards the body. Yeah. Stay for a breath, and when you exhale, return. So that might be an option. And then one more would be where when you could reach your hands between your knees now and hold on to the outsides of your feet or the big toe hook of the index, middle fingers. Please don't aberrate your breath to accomplish this. So try that or one of the previous modifications. And the legs may be partially or fully extended. And stay for 1 or 2 breaths this time. Beautiful. Each yogi will complete that on their own timing. And when you finish, just settle the feet down for a moment and the arms. And again, give that a chance to be absorbed, to spread. Feel any sukha, any sense of well-being or goodness this is creating. Also acknowledge any dukkha, any pain or discomfort, and as one of the aspects of the voice of guidance of body and breath during practice. Can we now bring our knees to our chest, and let's explore thinking of this as more of a kind of postlude than a destination, using the parivritti action as an aspect of counterpose after doing the forward bend. Now let's bring the arms to the floor in a T position. Legs are gathered closer together. Feel the inhale. When you exhale, bring your knees to the left Head can stay center or turn in opposition some. Let's stay one breath here. Mm-hmm. And when you inhale, return to center. So exhale the other side. As your Agni goes to one side, the ball of light of your chest, just turn the ball of light inside your chest just a tiny bit. Settle the legs, remain there for a breath. Beautiful, beautiful. Your inhale will carry you back when that happens. Okay, so you know this. Now go again on each side. Stay approximately a breath, could be two, on each side. Go in your own breath timing. When you return to center, and I don't want to rush you, but when you do, try that. Just cradle the legs is one option. Interweave the fingers, wrap your arms around the outside of the legs, and just rest there for a couple breaths. Or if you prefer doing the dynamic, repetitive expression of that, that's perfectly good too. Mm-hmm. And either leaving your legs there or putting your feet down. Let's just palm the eyes for a moment. Okay, friends, so when you're ready, you could release that. And let's take a transition to sitting. The other day I was sitting just a little higher. This is, anecdotal, but to maybe demonstrate something. I sat on a little higher, I was sitting on the front step, so my pelvis was on a step, and then my legs were, feet were lower than usual, right? And I realized, that's easier for my lower back. So over time, you can explore sometimes, what happens when my support is a little higher or a little lower, and just notice. Okay, so we sit for a moment, let things be. Connecting in our own way to the power that brings renewal, that brings the dawn, that illuminates both actually and metaphorically and intellectually and spiritually. Could we begin now? Simple ujjayi, okay? Again, a little up and back, down in front. So the flow is going up and back and slightly down in front. So there's a softening of the senses in the head, flowing back to the heart. Eyes are closed. Start ujjayi. Okay, and as you now begin to possibly introduce pause after inhale, pause, counting 2 or 3 seconds, pause after inhale. At the end of exhale, the abdomen is drawn pretty strongly in, not abruptly, but kind of a little deeper than usual, maybe. Continue with that, extending the pause by a second or two if that's comfortable. And as you continue that, 2 or 3 more breaths. Perhaps there's a pausing that naturally develops after the exhalation too, a sense of solidifying and resting. This will be the last breath like that. And then letting the pauses go, or not aiming to create them. Letting ujjayi go even for a moment. Now, as if you're sitting in nourishing, warm sunlight, a temperature that's just right for you, you feel your body respond. And we join the thumbs with the index fingers, finger contact, nyasa. One breath, inhale and exhale, with the thumb at each finger for mantra. So in a moment, we'll use the finger contact nyasa like a mala or a rosary, sort of to track. What we're going to do is approximately 4 recitations of Om Namaha, and then you move to the next finger. Breathe in through your nose, chanting Om Namaha out loud, medium volume, and then we'll do a round of soft. Okay? So close your eyes. Let the breath come in through the nose, and we chant Om Namaha. Move the thumb to the next finger. Take time breathing in through the nose. Om Namaha. Go at your own pace. Om Namaha. Om Namaha. Do one more round, maybe a little softer. Om Namaha. Om Namaha. Then one more round, 4 like that. Breathe in through the nose, chant silently on the exhalation. You finish, rest a moment. I hear the bells chiming in the distance. I guess that's the end of our class. You can linger more if you wish. This was a stronger Purvatana practice, so you may need a little more counterposed. You could do some Chakravakasana, Vajrasana, forward bend several times as a Visarjanam if you need that. I'm throwing a lot of words around today because I've got a very sophisticated audience. Thank you so much, everybody. You can either say goodbye or silently or as you wish. Be well, have a good weekend.